Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking into a case from Australia back in 2008. It's less typical true crime and more a chilling study in psychological betrayal.
Yeah, it's the story of Julian and Carolynne, and what really stands out is the level of calculated planning involved. It's quite disturbing.
So let's paint the picture for you. We're in Victoria. Julian is 22, Carolynne is 17. They're a young couple, very devout, and planning to get married when she turns 18 the next year.
And that religious aspect is key here. Both families were extremely strict Christians, so the couple was committed to, waiting until marriage.
That commitment becomes sort of the central point, tragically, around which this whole thing pivots. So March 4th, 2008, they drive out to Julian's family farm. It's huge, like 1,200 acres, and head into the nearby Bunyip State Forest.
Right, for a picnic near a waterfall. A pretty remote spot.
Things seem normal until around 2:30 p.m. They're supposed to head home soon, be back by 3:00 p.m.
But Julian stops the car. He says he saw a large dead animal by the road earlier and needs to check it out.
Carolynne's a bit annoyed. They're going to be late. But he insists. He gets out, walks towards where he supposedly saw it, starts poking around.
And this is where Julian's initial story begins. He later claims that as he was looking at this supposed carcass, someone came up behind him.
Yeah, he said he felt movement, turned, and bang. Struck on the head, knocked out cold, just gone.
Leaving Carolynne completely alone in the car. Vulnerable.
Exactly. So 3:00 p.m. passes. No Julian. Carolynne starts to get really worried naturally.
Understandable.
She gets out of the car to look for him, walks down the road a bit, around a curve, and that's when she sees him.
Not Julian.
No. A man. Dressed entirely in black, hooded, only eyes visible, standing maybe 10 feet away.
Just terrifying. And he attacks her immediately.
Instantly. Tears her clothes off, binds her hands and feet, blindfolds her, drags her away from the car. It's brutal and fast.
So back at the farm.
By 4:00 p.m., Julian's mother's frantic. She starts driving around the farm's edge, searching. And she finds something odd.
What was it?
A plastic bottle, sort of wedged into the fence. Inside, there's a handwritten note.
Okay, the ransom note?
Well, sort of. It says Julian and Carolynne have been kidnapped. But it's strange. No demand for money, no meeting location, and the grammar's off.
Peculiar. But there was something else, right? A signature?
Yes. A stamp symbol and the letters O.N.A.
O.N.A, Order of Nine Angles, and that changes everything.
Explain that for us. Why is O.N.A so significant?
Well, the O.N.A is not just some small group. It's a known entity, a radical, satanic, and genuinely violent cult that started in the UK in the 70s, but has, spread, including to Australia.
And their beliefs.
They're extreme, anti-liberal, intensely hateful towards Jews, and importantly here, Christians like Julian and Carolynne, they advocate terrorism, violence, sexual assault, even ritual murder. They believe civilization needs destroying.
So finding that signature suddenly escalates this from a missing persons case to potentially something much, much darker. A cult kidnapping.
Precisely. A counterterrorism level concern, potentially.
But the police, initially, they were a bit skeptical, weren't they?
They were. They thought the note might be a prank. I mean, the couple had only been officially missing for about an hour when the note was found. Seemed too quick for a complex kidnapping plot.
But that skepticism didn't last long.
No. Carolynne's family came forward. They told police something crucial. 10 days before the disappearance, they'd received a similar threatening letter, also signed O.N.A.
Wow. So this wasn't random. It was planned, premeditated.
Exactly. That confirmed it. The official search kicked into high gear immediately with a really terrifying backdrop.
And for 7 days,
yeah,
nothing. Just silence. Imagine the agony for those families, thinking their kids were with this violent cult.
It must have been absolute torture. 7 days is a long time, especially out in the bush with the cold nights setting in.
Then, March 11th. Almost 400 kilometers north, way up in the Alpine National Park, rugged country. A farmer spots something.
Them.
Julian and Carolynne. Stumbling through the wilderness, naked, bruised, incredibly dehydrated.
Just awful. But alive?
Alive, yes. They were rushed for medical care. Physically stable, but in deep psychological shock, as you'd expect. The police thought, okay, finally, a breakthrough. Time to find these O.N.A kidnappers.
So they debriefed Julian first.
They did. And he sticks to his story. Attacked from behind, woke up, tied to a tree, naked, found a knife conveniently dropped nearby, supposed mistake by the kidnapper.
Right, the careless captor trope.
Used it to cut himself free, fled into the woods, heard Carolynne's voice, found her. played the hero.
A neat narrative. Almost too neat, perhaps.
The Carolynne's story was just raw terror. She described the hooded attacker being bound, blindfolded, a long, bumpy car ride, maybe 6 hours.
And then what happened?
She was dragged deep into the bush. The attacker pulls out a shovel and starts digging a hole, a deep, narrow hole.
Oh, God. She must have thought.
She thought it was her grave. Absolutely. She said she pleaded for her life over and over. The attacker never spoke a word.
Just dug the hole in silence.
Threw her in. It was so deep she couldn't stand, only kneel. Then he just left her there, bound, naked, freezing in this pit in the ground.
How long was she there?
Until Julian rescued her, supposedly days later. He arrived with the sleeping bag he claimed he just happened to find.
So 2 dramatic survival stories. Seemingly separate kidnappings by the same group.
That's what it looked like. But when investigators went to that pit site in the Alpine Park, the physical evidence started screaming contradictions.
Okay, this is where it unravels. What did they find?
They found the shovel used to dig the pit. They found the rope used to tie Carolynne. They found the knife Julian supposedly found, and other gear. Forensics came back. All of it, the shovel, the rope, the knife, the gear, it all belonged to Julian's family farm.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And worse, Julian's fingerprints were all over every single item used in Carolynne's ordeal.
That is not good for his story. A massive red flag, as you said.
Huge. But it wasn't just the items. The medical reports came back too.
The head injury.
Exactly. He claimed he was knocked unconscious by a heavy blow, a complete blackout. The doctors found 0 evidence of head trauma, no wound, no bruising, no concussion, nothing.
So his whole initial victim story, it was physically impossible.
It just didn't happen. So if he wasn't attacked and his family's tools were used to imprison Carolynne, the implication is horrific.
He wasn't a victim. Was he involved? Or was he?
The police brought him back in, laid out the evidence, the tools, the fingerprints, the medical report contradicting his head injury.
That pressure must have been immense.
He broke. He confessed. The entire thing, the whole 7 days, was a lie, a terrifying, elaborate fabrication orchestrated entirely by him.
So the dead animal
was his bag.
Yeah.
Packed with the black clothes, the hood, the shovel, rope, sleeping bag, food, everything he needed.
He was the man in the hood.
He was the man in the hood. He staged the whole thing by the road, pretended to be knocked out, then disguised himself and attacked Carolynne.
Drove her 6 hours, dug the pit. My God.
Put her in it. Then he changed, hid the costume, deliberately dropped the knife near where he'd left her, waited, and then came back playing the rescuer.
And the 2 days they spent lost in the woods after he rescued her?
Also fake. He knew the area. He admitted he deliberately kept them walking in circles, prolonging the survival ordeal.
The level of cruelty is just staggering. But why? Why do all this? Stage a terrifying kidnapping, involve a fake cult, traumatize the person you supposedly love? What was the motive?
It's almost unbelievable in its triviality.
It's sex. Sex.
His sole motivation was to have sex with Carolynne. Remember, they were waiting until marriage, another year away.
He didn't want to wait.
So he thought creating this extreme, life-threatening situation.
Exactly. Nakedness, freezing cold, the shared sleeping bag he found, the dehydration, the fear. He thought it would break her resolve.
Pressure her into having sex for warmth, for survival, bypassing her religious belief.
He literally weaponized her faith and her fear against her.
Yeah.
Used the threat of a satanic cult as a backdrop to coerce her. It's profound betrayal. Turning their relationship, their shared faith, into leverage in this horrifying scenario he created.
But here's the truly staggering part. After everything he put her through for a week,
It didn't work.
it failed completely. Carolynne refused. She would not break her vow, her commitment. Even when Julian, playing the desperate survivor, suggested they should swear an oath to God that it was only for survival, she said no.
She stood firm through all of that psychological torture. Incredible resilience.
Eventually, Julian just gave up. Led her straight out of the bush to the road because he knew the way all along, and they waited until that farmer found them.
And the O.N.A. letters. The note.
All him. He admitted he'd read about the O.N.A. online and forged the letters, even putting in deliberate grammar mistakes to make it seem authentic or maybe disguise his writing. The O.N.A. had absolutely nothing to do with it.
Just a convenient, terrifying hover story.
He was charged, obviously. Kidnapping, false imprisonment, multiple charges. The families were just devastated. Imagine their relief turning into this nightmare betrayal.
But he didn't just wait for trial, did he?
No. Wound out on bail, he tried another dramatic escape. Dyed his hair black, got a tan, somehow got a fake Indian passport, and actually managed to flee Australia.
He really had a flair for deception.
But they tracked him down in India, extradited him back. In September 2009, he was sentenced.
How long did he get?
7 years and 9 months in prison.
And then released?
Well, yes. But there was another twist. While he was serving his time, authorities discovered something about his background.
What was that?
He was actually born in Germany, moved to Australia as a child, but his family apparently never finalized his Australian citizenship.
Seriously, so he wasn't technically an Australian citizen?
Nope. So the moment he finished his sentence around 2016, he was deported, sent straight back to Germany.
Wow. And reports suggest he really struggled there, right? Because he couldn't even speak German anymore.
Yeah, a strange, bitter end to it all. A consequence of actions taken years before, stemming from that single, incredibly selfish and destructive plan.
It really is a chilling case. The sheer depth of the manipulation, using love and faith as tools for something so dark.
Absolutely. The calculated cruelty and the betrayal are just staggering to think about.
We hope this story, horrifying as it is, has held your attention. For more deep dives into true crime and horror, please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Horror Doc.
Thank you for listening, and please take care. We will see you in the next deep dive.